Right out of that and into this. And on the other line in Perth is my boy, Hornet Pendulum. How are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, mate. Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? When was the last time, actually? Let's retract.
I think we've our generation has transcended physical contact because we're so in tune with social media. I feel like I see you whenever you say something without actually seeing you. It may have been years, may have literally been years.
Yeah, I guess the theory is everything condenses down into one timeline and you don't realise what's a year and what's three days.
No, exactly. No, it's got to be a good couple of years, I reckon, since I've seen you. But yeah, same. So it's just as if it never happened. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the one. That's the one. How's home life at the moment, being over in Oz?
It's very calm. Yeah, I left London in September after 16 years. I just got too homesick. I'd had enough.
Really?
And it was like the worst timing to leave because Pendulum was firing up again and new music and all that shit. And I was like, I'm going to go home, which seemed like a strange move, but I think in light of things, I probably made the best decision, like get myself set up here, and then the world starts to end. So I'm in a really isolated part of Western Australia. There's hardly any people around, so it's quiet. I've got a couple of kids now, so just chilling pretty much, waiting for things to become normal again.
Yeah. Was the plan that you were to continue Pendulum over there with the boys? Was it that you were going to be DJing more in Oz and that side of the world?
No, I was going to commute. I was going to come back to London for a couple of weeks at a time, do 2 weekends worth of shows or 3 weekends worth of shows, however it worked out, and then come back to Australia in the downtime. But I could have been away for a month at a time. This year was actually about trying to work out how that was going to work because it's good on paper, move to the most isolated capital city on earth, but actually putting it into practice to come back to London and go and do gigs and stuff. But there's a direct flight now, so I can deal with sitting on a plane. It's 17 hours, which is just a madness. But you get on, you get off, you're at Heathrow or you're at Perth, and I'm like, I'm here now. So, but yeah, that all obviously didn't happen. So. I think I did one trip back and forth, and then I came back and stayed.
Nah, listen. I mean, it is come back, get the money, go back, and I know example. Elliot does that as well. I'm not sure whereabouts he is in Australia, but
he's in Queensland.
Queensland, yeah.
Have you seen his pad?
No, I haven't.
Oh my days!
Is it legit?
It's ridiculous. Some crib shit. He's like, look at my house, but then you work out what that would cost you, to buy anywhere in the UK, and you're like, okay, it's not that much. But
I think there is that. I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? It's relative to what you spend and what you earn over there. And if you got the opportunity to make money over here and go back over there, it makes total sense, doesn't it?
I miss a lot of things about the UK already. It's only been 7 months since I left, but Australia doesn't have a hustle. No one's on one, like there's no. This is why we left, Matt, because 2003 we were just dawdling along, and we got to London, and it was like, damn, everything is so much more like you got to hustle to survive. Yeah. And art in the UK requires a hustle. To be in the scene requires a hustle. I don't talk about hustling people. I'm just talking about graft.
Yeah, totally.
And you get back here, and it's sunny every day, and you're like, I might do that tomorrow. And things slow down a little bit. So I do miss that pace of it. But I've got kids now, so I'm chasing them around. So I'm on a different
yeah, that keeps you busy.
Just put one to bed, and I'm literally like pulling out bars of chocolate so I can eat them now he's gone.
Indulging them before they get to them, bro.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying about the hustle, but the hustle over here in London at the moment does not help the current climate of our healths.
No, it's true.
People are out there now, man. In the evening, they're out there and it's almost like just meandering, just as if it doesn't apply to them. But that's because
that's the same here. Yeah, I think I don't want to tar an entire generation with slander, but old people don't give a shit. They just I don't know what's going on here. Like they're down the supermarket in husband-wife couples just wandering around casual. I burn in there, grab 2 things, and I'm gone. Yeah, and they're just wandering, and it's like I think it's quite hard to get through to a lot of people. You know, you see Americans protesting and saying, it's just taking away our rights. Jesus Christ, it's only been like 6 weeks or something, you know, like put it in. Yeah. I've worked out that I know 6 people who got sick, and I've talked to a few of them about it, and they're like, don't go out. You don't want to get this. So I'm cool. Stay home, you know, run out of money eventually, but I'm cool now. Like, make some tunes, look after yourself, look after your family. I think that's the most important.
100%. Now's the time to re-up. And we say this all the time on this show. It's like, it's so important to, you know, so I said it the other day, it's like semi-retirement vibe, you know, just live with it and
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where I live is like a retirement village almost. So I'm like, I go for a stroll in the mornings, and it's all the, you know, 70-year-olds, and they're like, oh, as if I'm one of them now. I'm all right with that for a minute, and then until I miss the hustle too much.
yeah, totally. Do you I saw some like press shots with you and the boys. What's the deal with that? Is there formation on the way?
Oh mate, it was all kicking off. This is the thing, the hilarious thing about it. Like, it's a little bit bittersweet, but I can't even get upset about it because it's just whatever. But it's been 10 years, almost to the day, since the last Pendulum album was finished. So 10 years since release. And
10 years to the day.
Yeah, and I've been basically wanting the guys to want to fire it up again as much as I've wanted to. And they didn't want to. So then we got to a point where they did, and there's 4 new tunes. And just as the virus hit, we were releasing the first one, and we pulled it because we just didn't see the point. It's like, after all this time, that's a tune called Driver, and that was like down to artwork. It had been mastered. You know, it was coming out. I don't know what the date of the madness, whether there's a line you draw in the sand and say pre-corona, post-corona, but it was right on when it kicked off. And our management just said, let's just pull that. So we pulled it. We got a new stage show with the 3 of us, the original guys that started Pendulum, back on stage together, doing kind of a middle ground between our live show and our DJ sets. Yeah. And I think we'd done maybe 5 or 4 of them, with the entire year booked up to do that. Coming back, new tunes, new show, new production, shove it right in, coronavirus, fuck the whole thing, back to Australia, sit in my house, wait for shit to kick off, to get normal again. Yeah, come back and resume. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. So, like I said, I'm not even mad about it. I'm just like, wow, didn't see that one coming. You know, what are you gonna do?
It's one of those things, isn't it? But it doesn't sound to me like the pedals, not on the floor. You just got to hold tight for a second and then just jump back on the ride when the coast is clear, right?
I think a lot of people that produce are like, and if they're like seriously studio guys, this is nothing new. No. Being in isolation and like, I spoke to Rob from Pendulum about it, and he was like, apart from having to leave his house and walk to the studio and not really enjoying that part of it, like nothing has changed for him. He's in there still just all day long. Yeah. Is he still
in London?
The other boys are all in London, yeah. Wow. So yeah, they I was wondering if they were going to come back here, but I know a couple other people that got stuck in London actually wanted to come back to Australia and can't.
Really?
So yeah, Western Australia is locked off. You can't come in, you can't come out. Yeah. I can't drive. My grandma lives an hour and a half south. I can't go see her. There's a police block, so you can only move within certain sections of West Oz. So yeah, they're in London, and that's where they'll chill until this is over.
And Gareth and Rob are good, yeah? They're good in themselves?
They're sweet. Safe, man, yeah. They were kind of doing Knife Party for quite a long time. Yeah. And then there was a few Pendulum live shows, and then there was a hint of some new music. And that was this year. So maybe we'll just pretend this year didn't happen and resume.
Complete write-off, flip. Yeah. Didn't even know it existed.
Didn't happen. 2020, isn't that mad? I started DJing in 1998. So yeah, I feel like I'm still new, and then I'm like, it's been that long. Yeah,
that's insane. Well, time flies, man. I mean, and with the same relevance as you and the guys had, fucking 10 years ago when the first album came out. I mean, it's incredible, man. It's incredible.
I came out with a saying years ago. I said it went really fast, but it took a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My gang will love that. Comments below, gang. Come on, get your comments in. Listen, brother, I'm gonna have to let you go because I know what time it is over there to what time it is over here. I really appreciate you jumping on and saying hello to us all. You know what I mean?
Pleasure, mate. Good to see you again. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Pleasure. We'll have to have a proper chop up on a podcast, long form in the future.
For sure, for sure.
Listen, El Hornet, thank you so much, mate. Take care, Paul. All right.
All right, Kel. Thanks, mate. Respect.
Stay lucky, brother.
Easy.
On to the next people. Let's run that VT.